So you're here to learn some tips for Alpha 20. I'm Exotic Gaming and I'll be showcasing my best strategies. Do me a favor and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. Tip number 1 involves new strategies that must be taken when base building in Alpha 20. We know with this new alpha, blocks now downgrade to air and their upgrade path has been simplified basically to wood, stone, concrete, and then steel. On top of this comes the change to zombies' way of pathing through base defenses. They can now duck through small openings under 2 blocks high, and eventually they can crawl through 1 block openings, supposedly in Alpha 21. As many of you probably know, there are over 1,200 new block shapes being added to the game, so base construction is going to become a very unique process, but you should keep these prior points in mind when constructing your fort. I'll give some examples on how I would construct some defenses for my base now. So first off, let's think about base design. You're going to want to have a focus on the lower portion of the entryway into your bases because the zombies can now duck. Hatches and other various doors like this are still useful. Just try to focus them towards the bottom because even when Alpha 21 does come out, you're going to want to have stuff on the bottom of your bases. At least get used to that idea. Ramps are still effective at countering zombies. I would just focus on building them up like this and building like a lower third blocker to stop them. I like to build these blockers because then zombies are easier to hit in the feet and I can slow down the horde spawn if I'm being overwhelmed or what have you. Catwalks and other various structures are getting a huge upgrade as well during this shape update, so I would really try to focus on building a base around that strategy. And next up is just one of my personal favorite tricks, where if you get on a vehicle and you go over a trap, it doesn't break. And if you combine this with Alpha 20's new frame system, where you can everything upgrades to 1 level, you can literally destroy it pretty easily. Create a trap, let the zombies come over, slide them off, they'll go down and attack the bottom block, you just jump back over, and if you have a bunch of extra traps here, you can just keep riding your vehicle back and forth and doing the same thing during a horde night or something like that. It really is effective with the new block destruction system. My next tip is to use the drone. I can foresee this item being very effective for helping out players in combat, especially if you combine the morale mod with the healing mod, for instance. Add some stamina and running perks while leveling up and you can get away with just about anything. It's kind of hard to make, costing 10 forged steel, 5 robotic parts, 15 duct tape, 15 scrap polymer, and 2 motion sensors. But all of these items are doable pretty early on in the game. Even the storage mod could save your life. It would keep you from weighing yourself down to your death. Now might be a good time to have that morale mod or the healing mod. Oh god, yeah. So you could really get out of tough situations like this if you had a little bit extra stamina or a drone to heal you while you're fighting. You can go behind a tree and just have it store all your first aid stuff, which takes up a lot of room the way it is. Tip number 3. This tip is more a general warning than anything, but based on what the Fun Pimps have shown, POIs are going to have a lot more traps waiting for us, which is great and also kind of scary. As you can see in Alpha 19, it gets pretty easy to predict where the zombies or mines or traps are going to be, especially after playing the game for a while with standard POIs. And well, with the new switches and power system being implemented, the POIs they can design can have a lot more possibilities for them to mess with us as players, or create more opportunities to find loot stashes or mine traps or what have you. This button coming up is an example of the switches that may get you more loot but risk your character's life at the same time. It was heavily hinted during the dev streams that these traps or switches could be linked together, and I bet you get some awesome rewards at the end, although you may end up facing some special zombies. And finally, we have general tip number 4. Watch out for the new zombie types and some new models coming out with this alpha. These are really authentic looking graphically, but they could be scary coming out of the flames at you, if you know what I mean. Also, knowing the Fun Pimps, there could be some surprises in terms of abilities they have and where they might try to hide them. For instance, look at this White. Who knows what he can do? I would imagine his speed and senses are spiked. And then we have the new spider zombie, which is now part of the general population zombie types. I'm curious how much more often we will see this guy, because he is kind of an annoying piece of shit. I post 7 Days to Die update videos like this frequently, so subscribe if you want to stay up to date with that. And I also just started a new cinematic Let's Play series of the game titled The Crash. So check that out in the description. Appreciate those of you who made it this far, and I'll see you next time.